Hello my crafty friends, Eileen Godwin here from the Clarity Crafts DT. Now a few weeks ago I had such a great time when I visited the Ditton Community Centre for a Clarity Crafts open day. It was a weekend. I could only attend on the Saturday unfortunately as I was busy on the Sunday, but I had a smashing time. Everyone seemed very interested and they were very kind. So thank you all for that. I asked as I was doing the demonstrations whether or not I could do some video tutorials of them. And I said, yeah, of course I would. Now, I went on holiday and I've only returned a week or so ago. And now I've got some free time. So this is the first video tutorial of 3. And I'll try and do them fairly swiftly, one after another. This one will be posted today, and I'll post another one in a couple of days' time, and so on. So, no more ado, enough waffling. I'll just show you how I made this card today. I'm using a beautiful bird stencil in the background, and then the magnificent blue tit from Garden Birds and Cherry Blossom, an A5 Clarity Craft set. Pop that where I can see it. I'm starting off with my Misty stamp press, but I've got it upside down. I've got a piece of cardstock. Now this is Clarity Stamping and Stencil card. It's really super smooth, white, and I folded a sheet, creased it and cut it to 14 centimetres by 20 centimetres. So that will give me a 1-layer card. Going to pop on some stencil tape because I need to frame. Going to make an aperture and frame it. All the way round, paying attention to this inside edge. Make sure it's firmly stuck down because I don't want any of the ink leaking underneath. There. And last bit there. That should do it. Now I need the magnets. Oh, it's just starting to rain out. Well, we need it though, don't we? Oh, come on. Oh, some of these are so tight. That's better. Bit of copy paper by my side. And the stencil itself is here. Now, I don't know the name of the stencil, but the clue is there's 3 birds on it, okay? I'm just going to make sure that the birds are in the middle of the aperture area. So just moving it over more to the left-hand side. So the bottom of the stencil, the frame of the stencil, is meeting the top part of the stencil taped frame that I've made. So they're matching, and the bird is just in shot in the middle of the frame, and the tail is inside that apertured area, and that means that the others are okay as well. So I've got all 3 birds. You can see all of this one, and the shoulders and the head of the other one as if it's just flying in. That's the idea. So just using a magnet there and another one there, and for luck I've got some others here. That one. These are really heavy duty, these. And another one there. Okay. So that's the name of it. Let me just see if I'm in shot, okay. Yes, I am. Good. Got a bit of a squeaky chair. Sorry about that. Right, brushes. I need a blue one for blue ink, yellow and... not yellow. Yes, I need yellow and blue, and then I will need one in red, but that's for later. So I'll start off with the yellow one first, and the inks I'm using are archivals. So I have cornflower blue and goldenrod. So goldenrod, cornflower blue, and then in a few minutes I'll be using rose madder. They're the three inks that I'm using for the stenciling. Starting off with goldenrod. It's quite a new pad. It's not overly wet, because archivals aren't, but I do need to make sure it doesn't go splodgy when I put it down on my cardstock. So taking some off on the copy paper, holding the birds firmly down with my finger as well as the magnets, because this stencil is quite flimsy and it could move easily and then ruin your image. Like that. I think I've saved that. But these birds do like flapping around a bit. I'm not doing all over with this yellow, but half of it at least, because the rest of it will be blue. I'm hoping to have some of the blue with its own identity, and then the rest will be green tones as the pair of them mix together the colours. Right, let's see that. Now the blue being quite dark, be careful that you make sure you get off any surplus, because it can be very splodgy. So very lightly I'm now with the brush, no pressure on the head. The more you press it down, the more ink you're going to find will spread onto your cardstock, and not always in the position that you want it to be. So just gently making this bird, move that out of the way. They do blend quite well. Excuse me, archival inks do blend quite well, but you have to be quick because they're fast drying. What do I love about them? Oh, the fact that they're transparent. I love these inks because of their transparent properties. Beautiful colours too. Take your time with this. Don't rush. Okay. Right, got a mark there, but I think I can probably get rid of that. Let's see what that's like. I've got all three birds, and you can clearly see that they are birds. Got a bit of a mark there. Oh, I can get rid of that, though. It's drawing my eye, so I've got to do it now. And I'm going to use a sand eraser. It likes this clarity card. I mean, if you go on forever, it will go into a hole, but it's quite robust, this card. And it works well on archivals, so I can get rid of that altogether. Yeah, that's enough for me to go over with a bit more blue. But bear in mind, the blue I'm going to put over now is the same colour, but it will come out a bit darker, because now I've used an eraser, I've actually damaged the fibres of the card, and that makes it more porous and rougher. And consequently, it will show up to be darker if you're not careful. So very gently, I'm just going to very gently, just kissing the surface of the cardstock with the brush. And that's just covered it up enough to save it. Maybe just a smidge more, because it looks like a white patch there. But it isn't anywhere near as annoying as the mark was to begin with. I can live with that. See, if I hadn't told you there, you'd never know it, would you? No, of course not. Bit of a spodge there too, so I can very gently get rid of that too. Okay, next stencil is a mandala, and it's hiding from me. There it is. I belong to the Clarity Stencil Club, because I just love stencils. You can do so many backgrounds with them. You can use them for foregrounds. They are so versatile. You can use a bit of this and a bit of another one, you know, and I just absolutely love them. So I'm in the Clarity Craft Stencil Club, and every month I get a new stencil, along with a leaflet, usually giving quite a few demonstrations, step-by-step pictures in there to give you inspiration. So it's worth having a think about. You can buy these stencils separately, I believe. And this number, there's a number on this one somewhere. It's at the bottom, yeah. And the number of this mandala is 00942. That's 00942. And it's an A5, as you see, A5 size stencil. So I'm going to pop it down. I don't want to stencil over my birds. I'm just adding a little bit of interest and colour to the rest of the background. I need that off of there. And this one off of there. And that one on there. And we'll have another one on there. Why not? Oh, that won't move. Okay. Rose madder for this one. And a smaller stencil brush. Or makeup brush. So don't want to overdo this. I'm going for the areas where I know there are no bird images. So I'll pop a bit in there, but gently does it. And I think I'll pop a bit in there. And then I'm going to go for a little bit here, because I am going to stamp in this area too. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, it gives me interest, but it isn't too much, and that's what I was after. If I bring this one down, I think that I overdid this, but it will be your choice. If you want to add more, you'll get this sort of look, but if you add less, you get that sort of look. Whatever you like. I think I prefer this one because I'm going to put some stamps here and then the bird in there. Let's see, if I put the bird in and it still looks as if this hasn't got an awful lot of room, then I can put some more up here. Of course I can. You can do anything, can't you? Okay, so that, as far as stenciling goes, is it. Off comes the tape. I think you will notice how the ink has smoothed out. The cardstock has sucked in the ink that I've used, and on the way down it sort of smoothed itself, and it looks pretty well blended, I think. Turn over the stamp press. And I've got a Sizzix sticky grid sheet in here. Not to be confused with a Sizzix double-sided adhesive. That obviously you use for lots of different things, gilding flakes and stuff like that. But this is just for stamp presses, I think, because it's you can use it. It's sticky, it's tacky. Put your card in, but it still allows you to remove your card without damaging it. And these last for a long time. I mean, this is a bit messy because I've been stamping off the cards, so it gets a bit messy. But when it does, you just take it off, throw it away, and then get a bit more and put that on. So it's called Sizzix Sticky Grid Sheet. I'm saying that slowly because it's quite a mouthful. Right, down we go. Still need magnets though. Oh yes, belt and braces. And then I'm using the beautiful bird from Garden Bird and Cherry Blossom set. And in that, you get 2 small birds, you get a bird feeder, you get branches of cherry blossom. It's an A5 set. And of course, you get this gorgeous large blue tip. Absolutely stunning quality stamp, as they all are. So I'm going to pop this down here. It is clean, my stamp. I want the stamp to come out of the framed area. The tips of the wing will be outside, and some of the tail too will be outside. And the rest will be in the middle of the aperture. Okay, just up from that bird at the bottom. Move everything away now. And over. And the ink I'm using is Versafine Clair Nocturne. Very fluid ink, my preferred choice for my stamping. I do use archival if I'm stamping on acetate, etc. And sometimes on ordinary cardstock, but Versafine Clair Nocturne is a very fluid ink for fine detailed stamps. Gentle tapping. Might need more than one application, this. And I have a Speedball Baron. I've seen ladies using the tops of Yankee candles with some felt on the base of the lid. I've seen them using doorknobs from B&Q that they've bought, round doorknobs, and sticking felt on the bottom of that. Whatever. Anything to ease the pressure on the hands, especially as you get older. Beautiful. Now I'm going to give it one more, just to make it a little bit more opaque. Over we go. Fabulous. I've got one area that has, put this out of the way, right out of the way. I've got one area here that hasn't quite come out. It's just a tiny dot. I don't know why that is. Just a tiny white dot there. So I'll pop that in. And I've got some black ink there that I don't like. And actually I've got a line here that hasn't come out. Now I'm not going to draw a line in. I'm going to dot it. Because if I try drawing the line, I'll make a mess of it. But if I dot it, I can make it so that you can't see that it didn't stamp. That will do. Sorted. And then here there's a black mark. Can you see that? I can, and it's annoying me. I'm not going to rub that out. It's too close to the wing and it might smudge the ink. So I'm just going to go over it with a white pigment ink pen. You'll know it's there. I will know it's there. But if you don't tell, I won't tell, because by dotting over it, that black mark, as when it dries, that white will sink into the cardstock and you won't see it unless you really look for it. I just can't stand little tiny marks. You know? There's another one there, but I think that's got to go with an eraser. Sorry, you'll have to wait for me. Sand eraser. There was a little bit of stray red there. You maybe didn't see it, but I can. So that's got to go. Attention to detail. Yeah. The stamps and the stencils are lovely, so they deserve to be featured, and featured well, in my opinion. So now this bird looks a bit blurry here because I think he's moved. Now I'm going to take off some of the ink and highlight him. Again, using the sand eraser and then whopping that out like that. That's fine. Okay, what's next? Oh yes, happy anniversary is next, and that's last. Oh, and I've got to colour in my bird as well. Happy anniversary is from another Clarity set. It's full of words, sentiments. With love, happy birthday, best wishes on your retirement, wedding day, thank you, and so on and so forth. And this one is happy anniversary. And I thought it would fit that space there so well. Now I'm going to be brave and I'm going to go straight onto my card with my acrylic block. Brave or foolhardy, I'm not sure. I have a sponge stamp mat there, so it gives me a nice soft base. And I'm just going to pop this here. I've put the stamp down. It's Versafine Clear Nocturne. I'm letting the ink soak in and now press and up. Perfect. The final thing to do now on this card is to take, I'm going to take a dark blue. I'm using polychromos pencils. I've got dark indigo. Just want to make sure that bird is dry. Yeah, that's not bad. And I'm just going to highlight the shoulders and back of the bird with a line in the dark indigo. I need lessons in colouring. I might join Barbara's classes because I'm not brilliant. I'm really not. But I know what I like. So take that down there. And then the head as well. Not all over, but enough. And that looks pretty rough, but then I take my eraser again. I don't know much about colouring, but I know about rubbing out because I've done so much of it. And I'm just going to, with a circular motion, take not only some of that dark pencil work out, but some of the ink as well. So it lightens up the body considerably. As I've said, this cardstock doesn't mind you being a bit rough with it. You can overdo it. So you're not looking for holes. That wouldn't be a good look. But I just like the highlight of it, which one day I found by accident, and I've done it ever since. There you go. That's it. You know, that's easy, that bit, isn't it? Anyone can do that, to be honest. It's a bit of black there. Wrong pencil, Eileen. Oh, well spotted. Bit more of eraser to blend that in until you get a look that you love, and then stop it. Okay. Okay, I'm done. I thoroughly enjoyed making that, sharing that video with you. I hope that you did too, and you'll have a go if you do. If you've got these stamps and stencil, please post them on the Clarity page so that I can see what you've been up to, and I'll come over and ooh and ah at your work. And I love that. I love that more because the stenciling is less of the red, but you might prefer that one. And that, the colour's a little bit bolder. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. And I'm going on to make another video, and this one I hope will be on later today, which is Monday the something of July. See you soon. Bye for now.